Count it down instead of counting up.
Have you always counted up?
Clever girl.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
3, 2, 1.
It's good to change it up every now and then.
Keep you on your toes, you know?
Keep you on your toes.
I'm on my toes.
You're not on your toes.
I'm on my toes.
You're on your butt.
On my toes.
Mm.
Are you on your toes? Never.
Mm-hmm.
What are you, a ballerina?
Could be if I wanted to be.
Could you?
Probably if I had the right shoes.
Probably not.
I got steel toes at work. I could probably balance on my toes on steel toes.
I would love to watch this happen.
Look more
I could
like
probably get some of our guys to...
It would look more like a chunky Michael Jackson.
I could totally get some of our guys to chip in and watch too.
Probably. They might join.
Might
Have a whole ensemble.
Might be able to make some money off of you after all.
Construction Broadway.
God. If this ever turned into a thing,
Yeah.
it'd be quite comical.
Pretty funny. So, welcome back. It's only been 2 weeks.
We want to talk about it?
Probably because we're lazy.
So,
So, good segue into this episode.
of?
Laziness. Laziness, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's just average human beings
Mm-hmm.
falling below average due to laziness.
And procrastination.
It's not so much procrastinations.
Excuse me?
Yep. It's
Yeah.
not so much procrastination than it is just laziness. You know, we want to do it tonight? Nah. Do it tomorrow? Nah. And tonight we're doing it because it's our last night to do it. So,
Well, in this one specific case, it could be laziness, but in other areas of our life, there's some heavy procrastination.
sure.
And that turns into laziness.
I agree with that. It's very easy to push things off when you procrastinate them.
100%.
So,
You'll get to them eventually until eventually runs out.
yep.
And then what?
You're either going to want to change or just keep on going with your bad, lazy self.
So what do you think the amount of people are that just keep on going with their laziness?
If I had to put like a percentage number to it,
Yeah, what do you think it is?
ooh, man, it's probably a cool 70% of people.
Okay. All right. Pretty impressive.
But you have to define what the lazy part is, though. Because some people still wake up ready to go to work every day, content in what they have, wishing they had more,
Yeah.
but not going to do anything about it.
So you don't
good
believe-
people living good lives, still wishing they were doing more, but not going to do anything about it.
So you don't think or you don't believe that there's a standard of laziness?
What do you mean by standard of laziness?
Like universally X, Y, and Z makes you lazy.
I don't know. Maybe. You know, getting comfortable in life makes you lazy. Whether that's your diet or the way you live after work or the way you live during family time or how you work every day during the day at work. I mean,
Right.
I don't know if I'm sure there's a formula for it that one of these billionaires have figured out, and they build their, wealth off the lazy people. Because I've always said, and this is because we're just lazy.
This is going to be like the perspective episode. How many times are we going to say lazy?
And I'll clean it up because we're trying to make this a nice podcast. But, to build a business or a product or a service that caters to that 70%
Of lazy people.
of lazy people, right? McDonald's did that.
For sure. They nailed it.
Lazy people love convenience. So do fast-paced people. But lazy people love unhealthy conveniences,
Yeah.
right? Fast-paced and responsible people love the salad bar at Whole Foods.
Also wealthy people.
Convenient, but healthier.
Speaking of, that takes me back.
I didn't know they had a cookie bar.
Okay, I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that. I just heard that on a podcast today.
Well, we should go to the Whole Foods in Sarasota and find out. But taking me back to Whole Foods was the Whole Foods that was right across the street in San Diego
Mm-hmm.
when I worked at your Toyota events.
Yep.
Man, they had that hot bar.
You get that $17 overweight salad.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
You know what all the smart people do who are not, honest people? So when they put it there, they put it down on that self-checkout. Just kind of lift it up a little bit. You go from 1.5 pound salad to, half a pound.
Did you do that?
No, I never did that. Nope.
Do you want to?
Not because I was a good person back then. Just because I was a wiener.
Oh, you were scared you were going to get caught.
Yeah, I didn't want to get busted for it.
Oh, at, 30 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. So you knew right from wrong.
I knew right from wrong.
Just making sure we're on the same page.
No, yeah, I've always done things,
Top tier.
in a bad direction, knowing right from wrong.
Top tier over there.
So you married it.
I did.
You bred with it.
Okay. Okay. Right. Why? Why'd you say it like that?
What else do you want to call it?
I don't know. Just seemed very animalistic
Same thing.
in our breeding.
We're breeders.
Okay. We're done. You can segue into the topic at hand now.
That's, we're put on earth to breed.
We are. I don't disagree with that. We are.
So don't make it weird.
It's the way you say things.
You made it weird.
No.
So
What did you say yesterday? That was instant.
I don't even know. No idea.
Instantly.
I don't remember the things I usually say because I just say them.
It was something about getting the jack off.
Oh yeah. Talking to Charlie. Did Louis drop the jack off? And this is before I could even finish the word off.
Both of you were
Everybody,
just, I was like,
whoop, there it goes. Not what I meant, but where my head went.
and then Carl was like, imagine having an employee with the last name Jack, and anytime she's off, you have to write Jack off on the calendar.
Can you imagine?
Taking this very Christian podcast to a whole nother level.
Yeah. Lord, forgive us.
Absolutely.
For our random humor.
Yes.
So.
All right.
Laziness.
Yeah.
Today's Bible verse. I figured it was short, sweet, and right to the point. It's Proverbs 10:4-5 says, lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. He who gathers crops in summer is a prudent son, but he who sleeps during harvest is a disgraceful son. So, to me, it kind of meant, or probably not, but probably does mean, it's not about, if we are Christians and we are followers of God and we're doing what we can to obey him and we're reading his word, listening to his word, and we start our day and go into our things during the day with lazy intents, right? Or we're just lazy about what we do. Mm-hmm. That's technically a disgraceful kid.
Yeah.
In God's eyes.
Right.
He's our father, we're his kids. And if we go and do things lazily.
That'll work.
I think so.
Okay.
Lazily. You
can look it up after this.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Lazily. But you have to imagine that it's disgraceful, right?
For sure.
Because what we're not supposed to go out and do everything and do things for ourselves.
Right.
We're supposed to go out and do things to honor his kingdom and grow his followers and do things good and make some money and give money and build things. And if we go out and do those in a very lazy way and we could procrastinate constantly, which turns into laziness because we just don't do anything because of it, in a parent's eyes, in God's eyes, that's disgraceful. It's you're wasting the precious time that I gave you here on this earth.
Sure.
That's why I figured that Bible verse was pretty direct to the topic.
I like it.
So
I'm going to kind of jump down for a second I was just kind of reading about statistics on laziness and stuff. And one that I had stumbled upon, which was from a couple of years ago, which was an article written in Frontiers. It said research had found that up to 20% of adults and fully half of college students feel that they struggle with procrastination. And the part that was weird to me is acknowledging that you struggle with it and then still not doing anything about it.
That's what I do.
So then it made me, right, think internally and be like, well, wait a minute. There's a lot of things or a lot of areas in my life that I procrastinate or just put off because we're busy and I don't make time for them. But they're, things that need to be paid attention to and taken care of and all the things. And so it made me then think about, like, how do we overcome everyday laziness?
Right.
So I'm also going to put you on the spot and ask you, how do you plan on overcoming your everyday laziness?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I'm really good at lecturing other people, and I'm really good at, I find myself one of those, like, football coaches, right, who's never played football a day in his life, but can, like, coach somebody and tell them, which way to run, when to spin, when to run down the field, when to catch, when to fake it, when to, I feel like I can do that really well.
You're like, welcome to my TED Talk.
With people, yeah. Like, I feel like I'm a really good person to walk you through different areas of life. But behind closed doors, I'm an absolute complete mess. And I am.
Fair.
Right? I battle laziness every single day.
Right.
And I've, over the last decade battled depression, which makes you super lazy.
Yeah.
Super lazy. You want to nap all day. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to go anywhere. You want to stay in bed. You want to sit on the couch. Makes you extremely lazy. And, having finally been able to kind of get through that, now I'm just dealing with, like, cognitive laziness. Like, now I know when I'm just being lazy.
Yeah.
And, diving deeper into Christianity and talking more with God and trying to read the Bible as much as I can every day kind of took me back to that Proverbs verse I read just now that, it makes me, I keep God at the forefront of my mind with everything I do now.
Yeah.
So if I'm sitting at work and I'm like, man, I don't want to do anything today. In my brain, in my head, I let God talk through to me and goes, okay, well then go home. And then I respond, I don't want to go home because I need to work. So then it's like, okay, then you need to work.
Right.
So I just have these conversations back and forth with God, to be honest with you, all day long.
Right.
I am learning that that's one way to give it to God, is
Absolutely.
to just forego it. And I can't do this without you, so take it.
Right.
And if I'm being lazy, it's one avenue that I think that he's not super quick to jump in and help when you're lazy. Because there ain't nothing wrong with you when you're lazy. No. You're just being lazy.
Yeah.
So it's
being a dud.
It's a challenge for me.
Yeah.
And it's talking to God and having and listening for a response that pushes me out of that mode. That even gives me ideas of how to get out of it. Like, I talked about previously having the app blocker on my phone.
Yeah.
Because I'll get distracted, but it makes me lazy.
Yeah.
I'll sit on my phone and I'll look at Instagram or TikTok like we all do because we're all sucked in that world.
Yeah.
And, he helps me get ideas. Okay, well, just do this app blocker. It's going to suck, but you're going to get used to it. And now, during work, I'm hardly on the thing. And so little things like that, I just help, and then I'm trying to read more things. I'm still reading this book called How to Be a King's Kid.
Yeah.
And that is really inspiring in terms of learning how to do things for God, for his higher power, and getting away from doing things for yourself. Because I think when we do things for ourselves, then we just limit ourselves to, well, that's all I wanted for today then. That's all I wanted to accomplish today. I got what I wanted done, and that's as far as I'm going to go.
Right.
So, being able to find myself, doing things for the glory of, God's kingdom helps me want to do more.
Right.
Not want to be lazy.
Yeah.
Procrastination is one thing. I'll procrastinate for the rest of my life just because I'll get where I got to go. But, if there's a million options in front of my face, I'm going to procrastinate forever.
Yeah.
That's just my
Going
life.
grocery shopping with you or ordering at a restaurant.
Yeah. That's my life. That's just my brain.
Like, I wish that there was like a way we could call Nancy and Jarek
Yeah.
Just ask them about the time you order things at McDonald's, like when your brain.
Yeah. No, I just, and again, I just take the lazy route, and I'm like, screw it. Give me 300 chicken nuggets, and then give me 25 cheeseburgers. But there probably is going to be people that don't like cheese. So give me 25 regular burgers, and then screw drinks. We can all drink whatever we want. And then French fries though, because there's going to, everyone's going to want at least one large French fry for themselves each. So give me 15 large French fries. So instead of trying to think about it, I just black out, panic, and just take the quick, easy,
100%
easy route. Taking the easy route is the lazy route also, right? Like you can't forget about that.
No, it's true. It's very true. Do you, or have you ever like set goals, like tangible goals for yourself?
Yeah, I think I do daily.
But like you've set them, and do you have them like posted somewhere where you see them?
I don't know if it's so much. I think they're like small mini goals. Okay. I think I just list stuff out, in my notebook.
Yeah.
Daily of the things I want to get done, but most of the time it's not in my personal life. We spend so much time at work that most of my goals are work-based, career-based.
Yeah.
I should probably do it more at home. I know we have the whiteboard that we don't ever really use. I thought we would use it more, but we need to use it more.
For sure.
But I should set more goals at home and personal life, that during the week to do certain things with the kids or do certain things with you or, go on dates twice a month or whatever it is, set more goals, simple goals, right? It doesn't have to be crazy life-changing goals. Do we want to be in a new house and a new place and a new world and a new everything in 5-10 years? Cool. Great goal.
Yeah.
But that's not going to change tomorrow or tonight or whatever it is.
But I would also rather focus on like the here and now because
tangible goals, like you said, right?
Yeah, but the end goal is always the same, right? Of course, the end goal is the bigger house or the nicer car or, whatever it may be for us or for other people is going to be very different. And those, I think your big goals always stay the same, right. They do grow for us. If I look back at us 5-6 years ago, right, the goal was to just buy a house. Right. We did that. We bought a house in Tennessee, and then, we moved here, and the goal was to buy a house here. And when I had my old car, it was to get, like, the next car that I get will be nicer, and it will be all the things. So those goals always just kind of transfer to bigger, better things.
Right.
But, like, the everyday, like you said, tangible goals, like, I think that we should start writing them out together.
Sure.
And being a part of each other's goals, because then you've got somebody to hold you accountable. Right. Because you also only need somebody to hold you accountable for a short period of time. And then you're like, oh, I got this. Like,
right. Then they almost become habits.
Yeah.
Right. Like a couple of my goals that became habits were, reading the Bible every morning, at least 2 pages. Yeah. And, and praying on the way to work. Mm-hmm. And I did do those every day. Reading the Bible, I might get carried away at work at 6:30 in the morning, jump on something, and then all of a sudden the day's over and I haven't read the Bible. But, those are tangible goals that turned into habits. Mm-hmm. So there are goals that I do set. And then I let that whole kind of piece of my world go away because, I do get content or comfortable or lazy and I don't add anything else to my plate.
Right.
And this podcast, trying to do it once a week is a goal. And we're learning how to balance this and the rest of our life, whether we're in a mood or we're tired or our tummy hurts or whatever it is, that it's like also, we just...
5?
No, but I was just kind of... My tummy never hurts.
Mine was killing me last night.
I know. So
that was pretty brutal.
That was my polite way of saying it.
I mean, you wanna go there with everybody's, issues? Who's
everybody?
You.
I don't have any issues.
You and your multiple personalities.
I don't have that anymore.
Oh, you don't? Did the fish oil get rid of that?
Back off, lady.
See what I mean? No, but it's true. And there's always going to be days, right, where you're just like, I'm tired. Like I don't want to do this. And that's okay. If 90% of your time or 95% of your time, you are hitting those goals and you are doing all the things, it's all right to sleep in, once a week or whatever it may be, or you missed working out with a friend. Like, it's okay to miss those things. Everybody needs that. But it's not okay to let that become the new habit.
But it's not okay to do that every week.
Right.
Right? Because that's when it's like, okay, now I'm getting caught up in my laziness. I'm getting caught up in my excuses.
Yeah.
Excuses are so easy
Very.
to just bleh, because it's just your way out of anything. An excuse gets you out of everything.
Or you think it does, at
So,
least.
and an excuse
times.
is lying to yourself.
Yeah.
And an excuse is, that's lying in general. And if you look at it, and call me crazy, and, maybe I'm starting to slip into that level of Christianity now where I can dissect things in that sense in my head, and I just take it to that level that if you're making an excuse, you're lying to yourself, you're lying to somebody. And if you're lying, it's a sin. And now you've just done some stupid little sin to get out of doing something super simple that could just be
really
done.
Easy.
100%. Right. So that's where my brain goes now.
Yeah.
Like I go to that level of thinking half the time, and I don't, I can't help it. That's where I'm at these days.
So a big one for me, which is, it's so hard. It's a level of laziness, is the amount of screen time our kids get.
Sure.
I don't just mean our kids. I mean kids in general, right?
No, for sure.
This is like a general consensus.
It's hard not to get caught up in that.
Right.
Right.
But it's really hard, right? Like Archer stays home with me and comes to the office with us. And like, I used to have the rule, like, you're not watching TV after or before 10 a.m.
Right.
We would go on our walk and he would play in the morning, and then he could watch it for, the hour before lunch or whatever it was. But then that hour turned into 2.
Right.
Or it turned into
Super
before
easy.
10. And,
right. Because now you get quiet time at work and you can actually do your work, and he's sitting quietly watching TV.
Right.
And
makes things super convenient.
Right.
And,
I agree.
Or we're at home and we're making dinner and he's like, oh, I'm going to watch dinosaurs. And then he's watching dinosaurs, and Olive's like, oh, I want to watch my computer. And she's on her computer. And then next thing you know, it's, you're on your phone and I'm cooking dinner, and nobody's having a real conversation anyway.
Right.
And then we had a 3-day weekend or a 4-day weekend with the holiday, and we all kind of just vegged and hung and watched TV. And come Sunday, I was like, homie is not watching TV anymore.
No, right, right. We didn't watch TV this whole week, which is solid.
Yeah,
for sure.
We need a detox on the TV thing. But it made me realize just how much of like laziness on our part it really is.
Right.
It's like, sure, here's the screen, go hang out, like go get lost in your YouTube world, Olive, or Archer's really into dinosaurs, like go get lost in Jurassic World.
Right.
But then you and I are just like, well, now what? Like,
it's crazy though, the balance of like laziness and non-laziness happening at the same time, right? Because at work, we're there to work, we're there to get things done, and we're not being lazy at all, right? But there's Archer or Olive or both at the office, and it pushes us to be lazy as a parent.
Yeah.
At the same time,
to not be lazy as an employee.
To not be lazy as an employee, right? It's
right.
it's like that crazy balance of,
yeah.
Where do I break that? Where do I slow one thing down and amp up the other one? And how do you balance that? Because, it's a kind of a messes with your mind.
It's super hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard. And, I'll never forget when we were talking about taking Archer out of school, and I talked to your mom about it. And she was like, however hard you think it is, just multiply it times 10.
It's going to be hard.
And I was like, okay, like I can do that. And honestly, and I mean this wholeheartedly, up until this week, it wasn't that hard. It wasn't like a hard that I was like, I'm putting it back in. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, whatever. But man, on Monday, when I had to leave the office early because he was just not having it, I was like, dude, like,
yeah, he was on one.
What is happening here? Which was part of watching too much TV.
100%. Right.
And
we took it away from him, and he, the first 2 days he didn't know what to do.
No.
He didn't know what to do.
It was like literally watching a drug addict detox from.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Drugs.
Right.
And he'd be like, Archer, watch TV.
Right. And even today, still, it's a Thursday for anybody not want to know, but now we're on day, the end of day 4.
Yep.
And even tonight, he climbed up on the counter and was trying to sneak the
remote.
2-year-old, trying to sneak the Apple TV remote, trying to turning it on, saying, I need this. I need to watch TV.
I'm like,
I need TV.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, no, you don't, man.
No.
Still crying 4 days later.
For sure.
It's amazing how powerful that is. And that's why we get lazy is because it is powerful, and it does make our lives, quote, easier for the moment.
For the moment.
But look how Monday and Tuesday were. It was like, that's not easy.
No.
That was a horrible.
Yeah, that was hard.
That was tough.
Yeah.
So stop being lazy.
Yeah.
And put, not you, but anybody,
No,
stop
absolutely.
being lazy and figure out a way to put a little more effort into the things that you're trying to avoid, to maybe not be lazy somewhere else.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
it's a balance, right? I mean, it's I don't know, it's a balance.
but there's also a reality to kids just need to be bored, and that's okay.
Kids are allowed
Like,
to be bored. 100%.
You need to be bored. And,
Right.
it's, I was like, so I saw a clip on Instagram, and it was like, kids these days don't go outside and like hit trees with sticks and realize that they
No.
make different noises. And like, they don't do like the things that we used to do because not just social media, but like technology is so readily available to them that they're not bored anymore.
Right.
And it's a bummer because you're like, do you mean that's how you build like grit and
Right.
figure shit out?
Yeah.
You go through those things, you're bored and you're like, well, how does this work?
Yeah.
And then you start to figure it out. And, Olive's definitely getting used to the no TV thing. She tried, yesterday. Can I just watch my computer? I'm like, no, I already told you.
Right.
I'm not doing it all week. So, but she went tonight and we went to the park, and then
Yep.
she came home and she wanted to
Do the little bead thing.
do those. And so it's definitely an adjustment, but it's also worth it. I mean,
For sure. Yeah. And it's I think I saw something similar on, online as well, that we talked about, when a kid comes to you bored, it's okay to turn them around and say, then go find something to do.
Yep.
And let them figure it out. Let them go into their closet and pull out the toy they haven't played with in 6 months.
Yep.
Because
Exactly.
it'll be new again for them. Let them have that opportunity.
Absolutely.
And let them cry.
Yeah.
Let them be pissed off.
Let them figure out
Who
how to regulate
cares?
their emotions.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Right. Like let them have those emotions.
Absolutely.
It doesn't need to be coddling. We live in a coddling world where it's like, oh, I hate this. It's like, oh no, come over here.
Yeah.
It's not what I meant.
Yeah.
Come here, Daddy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. No, go in your closet. Go in your room. Go in the playroom. There's so many toys in this house. It's absurd.
Yeah.
Go figure out some. Go do a puzzle. Go
Yeah.
make a puzzle. I don't care what you do.
It's so true.
Go find something to do.
Yeah.
Archer's a little bit more difficult because he's 2.
Well, right. He needs.
But
somebody
Olive
to
at
help
7
him.
can
Yeah.
go and figure it out.
Absolutely.
Go make a mess somewhere. I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
And
she
she
learned that
does.
the other day. She didn't
does
want to
pretty
make a mess
good.
though.
She doesn't like to clean up the messes.
But she wanted to play with glitter again, and I was like, "Go for it." But just remember,
You're cleaning it up.
you're cleaning it up.
Yep.
She came out real fast. She was like, "I'm
No.
not gonna do that anymore." I'm like, I didn't think so.
Nope.
But maybe here's the vacuum and a roll of tape.
Yep.
You can figure out getting that up.
Exactly. So how do you overcome everyday laziness? I'll go back to that one because I feel like you ask me questions all the time, like you're interviewing me. But let's hear from the world famous Crystal.
Oh, I don't know. I'm a big proponent of lists.
Right.
They like help keep my brain in order and balancing all of the things, whether it's stuff for the gun store or stuff for our business or just our personal life. Like it's all there and mumble jumbled. And so I have to put it all out on paper and a list so that I can see it. And so it also helps me not feel so lazy. It's like,
Right,
all right,
see the things you're getting done.
check
Check this, check
it off.
that,
Like
right.
I know that it's done. I don't think it necessarily helps me overcome the big picture piece of it. I will say something that has helped is walking in the morning. Like I get up.
that's a big one.
I don't snooze my alarm.
Yeah, you're good at that.
I get up.
I gotta figure that one out.
It's a hard one.
Yeah.
It's hard because like this morning I didn't walk and I laid in bed for an hour on my phone,
Right.
which I started talking to Shelly about, and she was like, I did the exact same thing, and I'm like, it just sucked. I mean, I still after my laying there for an hour, I did get up and I did my workout.
Yeah, you
and,
still got up and did that at the same time you would
yeah,
have. Right?
but like I could
know.
have done something else way more productive.
I know.
So I definitely think setting goals, just daily, like tangible goals, is something that is super helpful. And I've definitely seen it help in certain areas of my life. But then in other areas of my life, I'm just like, past 9 o'clock when the kids are finally in bed and it's you and I'm like, dude, I'm exhausted.
Right.
Like, I'm going to sit on this couch. I'm going to aimlessly scroll my phone. And I'm probably going to fall asleep in like 20 minutes.
Right. And that's okay.
But it's just like the day is just like gotten to me. But I could spend 20 minutes doing something else. You know, I could spend 20 minutes. Sure. I could read, and
you could read a new book or read the Bible or whatever it is. Right.
Absolutely. And I could do other things that are going to educate me in the things that I'm interested in anyway, instead of just aimlessly scrolling on my phone.
Right.
So there's definitely, I mean, there's a balance to it. And I think there's some areas of my life that I'm really great in.
Right.
And then other areas of my life where I'm totally lacking in and I could be better in. So I will say, I think a big one for like laziness is not having as much stuff. You know, we have been really good about getting rid of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And so we got rid of a bunch of stuff, which means we have to clean less because we don't have as much stuff.
Right.
And a big part of that was like, we were just leaving stuff everywhere. We were being lazy. Like, oh, we have this. Well, we'll just drop it on the counter. The kids take,
yeah,
you know,
for
like,
sure.
take
That's
whatever it is.
One,
like,
right?
You know, like having an immense amount of stuff, it doesn't make you, because I know a bunch of people are like, well, I got this because it made my life easier. And it's like, did it? Though?
Yeah.
Because I just got shit everywhere.
Right. And I think the more stuff you have on the inside, the less you go out.
That too.
So that's another thing that keeps people on the inside is we just we pile the inside of our houses. All right. We have a closet. It must be filled.
Yeah.
We have a corner in the room. We must put something there.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if our house was, and our house is pretty bare. I mean, if people were to see our house,
yeah,
we don't have a bunch of pictures on the walls.
No.
We don't, you know, we have a pretty bare house. We have, you know, a couch with a TV. And
we just had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we just had a lot of stuff in the corners, in the couch, in the couches, in the closets, in the rooms. And we just had stuff that we just never touched or looked at, or so it's just about, you know, cleansing your life. But I think, like you said, about making lists and stuff, you know, a big one would be, you know, not necessarily goals, but setting expectations for yourself. Yeah. Holding yourself accountable, because no one else is going to hold you accountable. No. So holding yourself accountable. Right. And then being upset with yourself at the end of the day is okay also. Absolutely. Like, you can't deny that, you know, and I do that often, you know, but make it healthy. Yeah. Don't be like beat yourself up and then wake up depressed. Right. You know, just know that, you know, I could have done better today and tomorrow I will. Yeah, absolutely. Simple. Super simple. You know, it's funny, like Shelly and I didn't go walking this morning. So I was like, all right, well then we can walk after park night. Right. And she was like, okay, well I have to be home because Justin's leaving at 9 to go do a meeting. And I was like, okay, sounds great. Like we'll go at, you know, 8:10 or whatever. And we'll get it over with. And we totally did. And it's just things like that too. That's the part where having somebody hold you accountable is nice because they want that same goal just as much as you do. Of course. And so it is nice to have somebody be like, all right, well, we said we were going walking. Let's go. Right. You're not going to let that person down. Right. Oh, I pop out of bed so fast. Especially if I think that like the girls are going to meet me here. I'm like, oh, I got to get up. They're going to be at my house. But isn't it crazy that without those people, without having the notion that people are relying on you is most of the time when we do get lazy. Yeah. And that's what I was saying. Like you need to rely on yourself and know that you're letting yourself down as much as you would be letting them down standing out in the front here waiting for you. Right. Because you are in here waiting for yourself. It's really hard to self-reflect like that. Well, yeah. And it's like, oh, it's just me. Like that's what people take it back to. Like, it's just me. And that sucks because like, it's not affecting anybody but me. And that's, and that, but like you should be the number one. Like, that messes with your head. That messes with your mental health. That messes you up if you're not thinking about, you know, yourself in that sense. Like that's, you know, that's self-care. It's a huge one. You know, you do need to have self-care. Yeah. You know, because without a healthy head, a healthy body, a healthy mouth, a healthy tongue, it's no good, man. It's kind of funny when we talk about self-care, right? Like the one thing that I'm pretty consistent on is I get a facial like every 6 to 8 weeks. Right. And I was talking to our neighbor about it and she was like, oh, I'm the worst at self-care. And I'm like, I'm not great at it either. Like I paint my own fingernails and like I paint my own toenails or occasionally you and I'll go get a pedicure or whatever the case may be. But like, if you're not pouring back into yourself, you're never going to be able to pour back into somebody else either. Sure. But how, like, me doing my makeup every day, do I love doing my makeup every day? No. Like, I actually hate having to do my makeup every day.
But when I walk by myself and I see myself in a mirror, I'm like, oh, wow, you put a little bit of effort into today. And I feel better about
Right.
myself.
That's the kind of self-care I'm talking about. Like
Right.
getting your stuff done and pampering yourself is great. But, doing the opposite of letting yourself down
Right.
is self-care. Mm-hmm. Right? Going to work or doing something with your spouse or your family that you wouldn't normally do because today you were like, today we're just going to do it. And I'm just going to do it today. Mm-hmm. And then you leave that situation afterwards, post that situation, you're like, man, that felt good. Mm-hmm. I'm so glad I wasn't lazy today.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I got up and did that. Mm-hmm. So that's, for me, that's the self-care I'm really talking about.
Right.
Is because that's the mental self-care that, without the mental, the mental game is tough. Mm-hmm. And without your head in the right place,
right,
nothing else works out.
Well, no.
It's all
it
all deteriorates. And
yeah.
Your brain is a muscle. And it moves your body, and it moves your muscles, and it moves your mouth, and it makes you smile, and it makes you frown, and it makes you laugh, and it makes you cry. And when you're not taking care of yourself like that, then your brain is like, I don't care then.
Right. That's when you fall into that depression.
Right. And then it hits your heart, and your heart doesn't care. And now your body's just like, I'm going to stay in bed until I'm ready to wake up.
Right.
And I'm just going to go to work whenever. Mm-hmm. And, and I know people like that.
Yeah.
And it drives me crazy. Mm-hmm. And, my personality doesn't allow me to attack somebody like that.
Right.
It forces me to be on their level, because I've been on that level. Mm-hmm. I've been there, and so it's, I try to talk people out of doing the things they do that I know are wrecking them, because it's wrecking their relationship with me, or it's really taking a hard beating on their job or their position at work, or, it's, and then, I'm trying to learn how to be blunt and honest, but to be compassionate at the same time that's the balance I'm trying to find. So it's,
it's not easy.
And again, I can talk to people way better,
right,
and explain, I could get somebody out of bed and on a workout plan, and being at work early and getting their stuff done and making lists and being successful in this and this and that and this.
But you can't do it yourself.
But then I'm always a work in progress.
Right.
It's crazy.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that either.
No.
But it's a matter of, we said at the beginning, right? acknowledging it and then doing something about it.
Right.
Maybe someone's like, I'm inherently a lazy person. And it's like, okay, so then what are you going to do
an
about
excuse.
It? Right.
Right. Yeah. My parents were lazy. Well, okay, let's start there.
That's called childhood trauma. But, so there's definitely, there's a million things, right, that you could do and kind of shape. And what are some things that you're lazy with that, starting today, right, you want to stop being lazy with?
One thing that gets me is I don't want to be able to. I need to stop being lazy in the morning. Mm-hmm. I need to get out of bed. I don't get out of bed late. I don't rush to work. I don't.
Right.
I'm never I'm not at that stage.
Right.
But what I want to do is stop snoozing my alarm.
Okay.
And getting up in the morning. And I don't really care what I do. If I even go to work earlier, I don't care.
Right.
But what I want to do is get out of bed on one alarm. And I've never done that. I've gone, I'm 40, so I've gone, 30 years with an alarm and have never gotten up on the first go.
Let me ask you this question. If you're going to get out of bed on the first alarm, are you going to spend more time aimlessly scrolling on your phone because you're up earlier?
Probably. Or I'll go to work earlier and start work earlier. Because I don't mind.
You can't go to work earlier because I'm walking in the morning.
Well, you're walking in the morning. But again, that's step one.
Right.
That's my minute goal. Step one, get out of bed.
Right.
Okay. Take a shower, go up, feed the dogs.
You're going to take a shower in the morning?
Well, maybe if I have time.
I don't even know who you are right now.
I don't know, man. I'm not there yet. Just, these are all imaginary goals. It's all hypothetical situation right now. So let's take it easy.
No, these aren't hypothetical. These are things
hypothetical.
You're
Take it easy.
Do.
I'm not there. Take it easy.
Yep.
So, or start a, workout plan. I kept saying I want to do, simple body, body weight workouts where it's push-ups, sit-ups, and all that, jazz.
Yeah.
Jumping jacks,
you're gonna do
somersaults, backflips,
Okay.
whatever it is.
All right.
Handsprings, is that a thing?
You haven't watched our daughter?
What's a handspring?
She does, she
She does
lots
somersaults.
she does lots of handstands that she would get
definitely
into.
attempts handstands.
She attempts a lot.
She gets about 30% there half the
Yeah.
time. So anyways, so step one will be getting up early,
Okay.
finding myself bored and just probably starting to work out naturally. But yeah, I don't like waking up early and having time
Yeah, I don't like
in the
waking-
morning.
I don't either.
I want to wake up. I just want to get ready and go. That's
But it's
like
also
my world.
like so nice.
I know.
It's
So
such a game changer.
I'm lazy. For sure I'm lazy in the morning. I don't want to get up.
Yeah.
And I enjoy my time. And then when I hit my, third alarm, I'm like, oh, I got to get up now. I don't have a choice.
Right.
So my job, my responsibilities drag me out of bed.
Yeah.
Not my want to get out of bed.
Okay. My one thing that I need to stop being lazy with is the dogs, like Jake and Maddie. They're so old now that I kind of just forget about them. Like,
Yeah.
I let them do their thing, and I had said forever, like, you need to cut Jake's nails and Maddie's nails. You need to cut their nails. You need to cut their nails. And I waited and waited and waited,
Right.
and like, I didn't need to wait that long. I just need to cut their damn nails. Like,
For
I just
sure.
need to do all the things. Like, they're not high maintenance dogs, that's for sure.
No.
They're
Right.
pretty easy.
Yeah.
But every time I do like fall behind on like paying attention to those things, I always beat myself up over it. Like,
Right.
I'm so hard on myself about it. And I wouldn't have to beat myself up or be hard on myself if I just did them. Like,
100%.
What it took us like
Right. It takes
10 minutes.
10 minutes out of your
to-
entire life.
Yeah, to cut their nails and
Right.
not feel like shit about
Right.
not taking care of them.
Right. You're definitely going to feel like shit way longer
Right.
than
Then
10 minutes.
Absolutely. Then just doing
Which is
it.
crazy.
Right.
The human brain is
Yeah.
is absolutely insane.
It's wild. So that's definitely a big one for me, that like I just need to pay more attention to the little things with them,
Right.
so that they don't turn into bigger things too.
For sure.
And then I don't beat myself up over forgetting
Right.
the little
And then
things.
sending reminders, right? Like I set reminders on Alexa for everything.
Yeah.
And it's the same as a whiteboard in our room when you walk in through the door in our bedroom. You could even put it, once a month.
Yep.
You know,
We need to do this.
one Friday after work
Yeah.
every month, clip the dog's nails.
Yeah.
Right. And then stick to it.
Yeah.
So one day a month for 10 minutes,
I know.
once a month.
Yeah. It's nothing.
So,
It really is nothing.
it's nothing.
Yeah. What's your second one?
Be even more active with the kids
Yeah.
after work. I'm active with them on the weekends because we're around each other all week. But when I come home from work, I fall into that exhausted from the day category. And, I still play with them and we hang out, but I definitely want to get less lazy about it.
Yeah.
If we go and play in the playroom, I find myself sitting down, then I lean over, and then I'm laying on the floor, and now I'm just playing on the floor with their toys. So it's like I'm trying not to. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
And the more I do it, the more it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And the worse it's going to happen. And the last thing I want to be is the dad in their eyes that was like, oh, he never played with us.
Right. He just
And not that I'll ever be that guy,
No.
but I look at it. I take it to that extreme instantly in my head.
Yeah.
And I'll live, you don't ever play with me and you always play with Archer. And like, that's so not true.
I know.
But I want to be more, prevalent on the weekdays.
Yeah.
And do more things with them on the weekdays.
Yeah. I think my next one, which I actually got back into this week, was my gratitudes and prayers. So I do them occasionally, but I need to be more intentional with them.
Yeah.
And usually like I do a daily devotional and there's like some type of reflection piece to it, but I added to it and I just got back into doing my like gratitudes. Like, what are my top 3 gratitudes in that moment? First things that come to my head, what are they? and I write them down, and then I read, the devotional, and I do the reflection piece of it. And I've done those the past 4 mornings, and I'm like, I need to get back into this, because this is part of that whole like morning, routine.
Right.
So that was a big one for me of like, just do them. Again, it takes 5 minutes. 5 minutes to write down your gratitudes.
Right.
And read this, passage, and then do the reflection on it. Like,
right.
Does not take that long.
No,
and
it doesn't.
Makes you feel so much better.
We just had that conversation was this morning about, constantly giving thanks, to God. I give thanks to God all day long.
Yeah.
And again, going back to this book, and I have it here, How to Live Like a King's Kid by Harold Hill. And I think everybody should read it, because it speaks to me in volumes, because I was a very similar personality as he was when he was young, before he became a crazy Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And, one of the things he talks about in the book that I wrote down was the Baltimore experiment. And basically what it is for 60 days, that's your goal. Your goal is 60 days at least to ask Jesus to take charge of your life and your affairs every single day. Every day you wake up and you say, Jesus, take charge of my life, take charge of my affairs. I'm not going to worry about my family. I'm not going to worry about my money.
Right.
I'm not going to worry about my job. That's yours. You take care of it. I know you'll take on that burden. And then thanking him every day for that, and thanking him during the day for all the things that happen to you.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, we need to be thankful for everything all day. And I'm trying so hard to remind myself to do that daily. And that's a goal that I think I've, not completed, but a goal that I've achieved.
Yeah.
At this point where, again, money, we talk about money all the time, because, money rules everything around us.
Yeah.
Dollar bills, y'all. But, we were talking about being tied again at the business this week for money. And, where you're on the phone talking to a client about a mishap, with payments and stuff. And we're sitting here trying to think, man, how the heck are we going to, do we need to pull more money out again this week? And then at the same time, you're looking at the bank account and you look at me and you're like, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
Right. So it's literally like you look at those moments and you just go, thank you.
Right. Thank you. Yeah.
Simple. And it makes you feel so good.
That's true.
So that's what I'm learning to do, is just be thankful for everything.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you're not, it's just amazing how good it makes you feel, when you're thankful for things you never even thought you'd be thankful for, or you stop being selfish and start being selfless, and you start, praying for other people in situations. Again, this Harold Hall in this book talks about, being pissed off, driving in traffic and commuting every single day. And instead of, looking at the guy in front of you going, get out of my freaking way, you a-hole. What are you driving like, blah, 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 blah. Pray for the guy that, either he figures it out or maybe he's not paying attention.
Right.
And needs to learn how to pay attention.
Yeah.
Or maybe his mind is somewhere else and we don't even know what he's doing up there. And to just pray for that person instead of degrading that person or shaming that person, because that person has no idea what's happening behind them most of the time. And sometimes they may just be a complete dick.
You mean like the guy that followed me back to the office?
Correct. But pray for that guy.
Totally.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Pray that he figures it out before he gets hurt.
100%.
Pray that he figures it out before he causes an accident.
Yeah. Or he hurts somebody.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
if you start to change your mind and look at situations like that, it goes a long way.
Yeah.
And what did he there was another example he said was, he pulled up to a light in his car and there was like a Mustang or something sitting next to him at the light and was revving his motor. And he pretended like he was going to race with him. And the light turned green and he just rolled and the guy took off, and he could tell he was celebrating, and it was really cool because in his mind he was like, that guy, I'm going to tear up, but that guy may have gone home and It's so hard for me to get things out sometimes because they like really resonate. But, you know, he may have gone home and been so pumped that he won this race that he, you know, took his wife, you know, out to lunch or dinner or whatever it was, or he, you know, acted differently with his kids. Or so it's crazy how you think about, sorry for getting so emotional, it's crazy, but it's when you start to think about the outcome of a situation that you can control.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and it's not about you.
No, you know, it's funny because I was putting Archer to bed tonight, and now he wants to sing, you know, we're 8 songs deep now at this point instead of what started at 2. Now I'm literally singing like 6 songs at this point.
Right.
And he's like flailing all over the place, and he's like, you're pulling my hair, and like he's just, you know, like kicking me and like pinching my arm in the chair, and it's like all of the things. And all tonight while I was like, dude, I'm not pulling your hair, stop. But I like sat there and I looked at him and I'm like, God, I'm so thankful for this moment, because there are people who don't get to rock their kids to sleep.
Right.
That don't get to sing to their kids. Like, I get that blessing every night. And instead of being like, Archer, stop flailing around. Right. Like,
it's a gift.
It's 100%. It was like, you know what?
Right.
Be 2 and flail around and like laugh while we're singing 5 Monkeys and like bonking me on the head. Like all of it, you know, like it's such a blessing. And so I was thankful in that moment that I, you know, had another night with him and got to do all of those things. And I think that's part of you know, changing your perspective on things, but B, like you said, giving it to God and being like, thank you. Thank you for that one thing that maybe was annoying me, but like, you know, I have it. I have it. And it's one of my greatest blessings, and I don't want to take it for granted.
There are people that wish they had a messy house.
Yeah.
Because of kids.
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't. Right. Or they lost that.
Right.
So, you know, I saw something again online, because that's where we live, was about, you know, the job you hate is somebody's dream. Right? It's weird.
Well, my job is somebody's dream. Come on
but
with
you
it.
know what I mean? But it's true. Like, the job you hate is somebody's dream. That crappy car you drive is somebody's dream. That family that you can't wait to get a vacation from is somebody's dream.
Yeah.
So if you start to put things in that perspective, then you really start to respect and love what you have.
Absolutely.
And then when you can do that, then it's time to level up.
Yeah.
And go on to the next stage of life.
Of course.
Because you've learned to love it, respect it, be thankful for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that's...
This guy. Amateur. What is this, your first rodeo?
Dang.
Well, at least you didn't delete it.
I didn't delete it.
That could have happened.
Stopped. So I'll have to blend that in.
Yeah, good luck. I won't be doing the chocolate videos this week. That's on you. No, but it's true. Like, being thankful for the little things makes you be grateful for the big things, because it totally helps bring them into perspective. And that's the thing, right? It's literally a biblical principle. If you're not going to do something with the little things that I've given you, I can't trust you with the big things that I'm going to give you.
100%.
So
absolutely.
Where are you going to start?
Yep. And if all you're doing is looking for the big things, then all the little things are lost on you, and you're just you're lost.
And you're missing out on so much.
You're lost.
So many great things.
Right.
What is give me another one. Give me another thing that you need to stop being lazy with.
Let's see what I got here. We kind of talked about work.
Yeah.
So I'll leave that one alone. I'll just go to my last one, which is reading more. You know, it's, you know, I keep talking about this book, you know, but I've been reading this book for probably, or I've been attempting to read this book.
Yeah.
I'm not like illiterate. I can read. I've been attempting to pick this book up and read it for probably the last 3 months. Yeah. 4 months.
Yeah.
And that's insane.
Yeah.
Because it's a really easy book to read.
Right.
And I resonate with it.
Yeah.
I resonate with it. So it's amazing that I can't just sit down, pick it up, and just continue to read it.
Yeah.
You know, and one thing when I read is I'm always looking for the end of a chapter, and that defeats me.
Yeah.
Because I'll go ahead as I'm reading. I'll be like, well, let me stop for a second. Let me go forward. I got 7 more pages at the end of this chapter. Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do these 7 pages. I'm going to bail. Like, so
Have you ever tried to like set a
kill it for
timer
myself.
instead?
No, that's probably the better way to do it.
Yeah.
Instead of reading 2 pages of the Bible every morning, I should
Right.
probably read it for 10 or 15
Yeah, give
minutes
yourself a time limit.
and see where I can go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll take me until I'm 85 to finish the Bible. But
Well, and sometimes it makes it like, some days you get through 3 or 4 pages. Some days you maybe are only going to get through 1, but like you
Right.
have set a goal of 10 minutes or 15 minutes
Right.
or whatever it is, or at night. Maybe it's like we put the kids to bed and we sit down and our minimum that we're going to read for is 20 minutes.
right.
And then the flip side of that is it's 20 minutes we're not scrolling on our phones.
For sure.
It's 20
For
minutes
sure.
where it's like uninterrupted attention
Right.
and,
Diving into a topic we're interested in.
exactly. And it's education. At that point,
Yeah,
it's
100
education.
Yeah, 1000%. That's one thing we talked about a couple podcasts ago where I talked about was reading more,
Yeah.
to be able to have deeper conversations. Because that's one thing that ever since we started this podcast that I notice about myself is that my vocabulary only goes so far. And
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to admit that. But, the only way I'm going to change that is by reading and learning more and
Yeah.
learning more. These kinds of books that I'm reading are good because they're conversational books. I'm reading a conversation from somebody else.
Yeah.
It's not a story. It's actually, somebody who speaks, to thousands of people, or that's what their history was, or
Right.
whatever it is. So that's my new goal is to read more so I can learn to talk more.
Yeah. My like last 2 are things I need to stop being so lazy with are quality time with my people in general. So like obviously you, the
Right.
kids, my family, my friends. I need to be better about like scheduling that and making that a priority because it does fill my cup and it does, make me feel complete spending more time with you, spending more time with the kids, doing those things, but intentionally, not just like I'm sitting on the couch with you. So I spent the
Right.
whole day with you. It's like,
Right. No, well, yeah.
oh, okay, great.
That's the lazy way.
Right. So let's not do that.
Yeah.
And then as silly as this is like something that I like cleaning, right? If I stayed on top of the bigger things, like the mopping and the vacuuming, which are the things that I just hate.
Yep.
Like I wouldn't feel so overwhelmed by them if I tried to do them all in one shot. And so it's like, okay, we'll just vacuum on Monday, mop on Tuesday. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like break it up so that it doesn't become a big thing where you're wanting to spend 4 hours on Saturday morning cleaning the whole house when
Yeah, it's crazy.
if you just did one thing a night, it'd be done.
Right. And you
Do you know
wouldn't
what I
even
mean?
know you did it.
Right. Like,
Right. And again, we have that calendar whiteboard in our room.
right.
That Mondays, we vacuum.
Yeah.
Tuesdays, I don't know what we do, but
Well, it was funny. Like I cleaned last week, like I cleaned the kids' bathroom, which then led to while they were playing in the bath, I went and cleaned all the windows in the house. And I was like, you come out and you're like, are you cleaning the windows right now?
Right.
And I was like, well, the kids are playing and they're having a great time. And like, there's nose prints and hand prints and just everything all over them. Yeah. And it literally took me 15 minutes.
right.
I did all of them in 15 minutes.
Right.
And so I was like, why do I put this off?
For sure.
Why do I like make this like laundry list
Right.
of things
Instead
that I need
of-
to get done when I just could do them?
Yeah. Otherwise, you beat yourself up on it every single day, and it's
Right.
funny that we'd rather beat ourselves up
Then just do it.
and feel crappy about it than just to get it done. That's the weirdest part of
Totally.
human nature that I'll never understand
It's
is that
the-
we would rather just feel like, all right, that's good and evil,
yeah.
right? The evil part, the negative stuff is so easy to obtain.
Yeah.
So easy to grasp for some freaking reason.
Yeah.
Like it's just, that's always the test of time is,
Yep.
how far to that side are you willing to go before it's like, I
Yeah.
can't anymore.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we need to set some goals
Oh, it sounds like we got some goals.
that we need to start implementing into our lives.
Agreed. Stop being lazy. Stop being lazy.
Let's do this. So we will be taking advantage of our whiteboard.
Yep. I assume everybody should.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy. You know what's funny too is there's a couple in our marriage class and she was like, we have this whiteboard and instead of like texting my husband all throughout the day and then like harping on him right when he gets home, like I could just write on the whiteboard and then we like when he's ready and he's like, settled down from the day, we could totally just
Talk
like
about it.
talk about it and like knock it out. And I'll never forget, Shelly was like, should I have a whiteboard at home? And I'm like, well, that's not for everybody. Like, no.
No, whatever works
Like,
for you, right?
Yeah, but I get that
But
too.
do something.
Do something
Right.
so it's not overwhelming. So, maybe it is for us. Like, hey, I'm going to go tackle, vacuuming. You go tackle bathrooms or whatever
Right.
it is. And then come Saturday and Sunday, like, there's no chores because they're done.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
we spent 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day doing them, and it keeps everything else at bay.
Correct. Yeah, true.
So
I like it.
good goals.
Good
I'll
goals.
high five you right now. And then maybe when you piece them together, it'll be us actually high fiving.
Is your high five still on your screen?
No, but it's like,
Oh, well, it's going to disappear then.
oh no, beep. You know what I mean?
You're super cute.
Thanks.
Super cute. Super cute idea.
What are you trying to say?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how to. I'm going to have to splice this video together in the first place.
Well, you're the one that stopped your filming and, mid-sentence. Amateurs,
My bad.
You just can't hide. You just can't find good help anymore.
No, you
Nobody
can't.
wants to work.
I'm not good help.
You're
Good
decent.
Good ideas, not good help.
You're decent help. All right.
Right on.
Let's wrap her up.
Let's wrap it up.
Is it wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap her up. Let's wrap that up.
Here we go again. Is it your turn to pray? Or
That
is it
doesn't
mine?
matter whose turn it is.
I don't care.
So,
You want to rock, paper, scissors for it?
Lord, thank you for another awesome day. Thank you for allowing us to talk this evening and have some good self-reflection and self-help, learning how to not be lazy and to better glorify you and reach a better level internally, that we're happy with ourselves and we're happy with the things that we're doing for you, through you, for your kingdom here on earth. We pray that the words that we talk through this podcast are helpful to those who listen, whether it's funny or entertaining or gives people ideas or helps them lead better lives. That's what we're here to do. So again, we allow you to put your hands in this podcast, take full control of it, and we're just your vessels trying to do good here on earth. So thank you for that opportunity. We thank you for people who are listening. We pray that you guys stop being lazy, find good things to do, better ways to help yourself, help others around you, and keep praying, keep talking to God. And if you're not there yet, find a way to get there, because I promise you it's an amazing thing. So thank you, Father, and it's in your name that we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
And everybody said, amen.
Amen.
We will see you guys
We won't ever see you guys,
next week.
but you'll see us.
Probably have to record this on Tuesday before we leave for vacation.
Yep. See you.
See you in 5 days.
We won't ever see you,
Or we will.
but they'll see us.
You don't know that. We might meet these people one day.
Like a live show.
And maybe they'll change our lives like we're changing theirs.
Maybe. That's,
Don't put yourself in a box.
that's a good goal.
Okay. Well,
See you later.
He starts to get delusional at this point. Goodbye,
Bye.
guys.